coffee this morning. Listen, nothing tops McDonald's
It
coffee.
hit. It hit. I see.
Y'all, this is not sponsored by McDonald's. Let me tell y'all that. I
Right?
just love McDonald's coffee. Okay? I'm
And
it's two things from McDonald's: McDonald's coffee and McDonald's Sprite.
there you
Love
go.
it down. Love it down. So you got your coffee this morning.
I
How you
did.
feeling?
I'm feeling really great. Like my trainer definitely worked me out early this morning, but I feel rejuvenated. I feel focused. I'm blessed. All the above.
Welcome to Gift of Gab. It's a nice hot day here in Florida, so good day. It's a good day.
Yeah, yeah.
So before we get things kicked off, tell me something that makes you laugh no matter how many times you hear it, or a food or song that takes you back to your childhood.
I love that. So I'll do the song. I
Okay.
love Candy by Cameo. And the reason why I love it is because the first time I heard it, I was like, "This beat is fire," and I would
Yeah.
dance around it in the house. Um, and then at family reunions, when they would
Yeah.
play it, they were like, "Oh, Tisha, go, go, go! Tisha, go, 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 go!" And
Love
I would
it.
be like, saying,
Love
dancing,
it.
and it just makes me so, it makes me so happy. Like I truly enjoy the song, the track.
Yeah.
Duh, duh, yow. I can just get happy anytime I hear it.
Yes.
So yeah,
I
that's my
listen.
song. Yeah.
Shout out to the people that introduced you to that because that's good music.
Mm, that's great music,
That is
okay? I
great
love it.
music. What a privilege to have grown up. Like I remember like as a kid, like Saturday, Sundays. I was in church on Sundays for the most part, but like
Yeah.
when I was at my grandma's house, Saturday, Sundays, it was like music. It
Yeah.
was it was music from like my aunts and stuff. Like not necessarily my grandma, but like my aunts and stuff introduced us to good music. So shout out to them. All
Shout
right.
out
So
to
y'all,
them. Yes.
yes. So y'all, today's episode is all about Tisha's journey with kinship adoption. Okay. Y'all know me. I love to scour the interwebs, Beyonce's internets, looking for just fascinating Black women, Black people in general, and people of other races, right? To come on Gift of Gab and share journeys, tell stories, talk about adventures. And I was super excited that Tisha was graceful enough to connect with me, and we talked a little bit about her journey. So I thought it would be a great topic to discuss here on Gift of Gab. So,
Hmm.
first things first, can you share with us a little bit about your adoption journey, as much or as little as you'd like?
Yeah. Absolutely. So, first, hi guys. I mean, hi everyone. Sorry, I'm getting used to that. My name's Teish. Yeah, yeah, my name's Teish, and pretty much I'm the creator behind Adopted Black Girl, which is a blog that is for adopted Black girls who need inspiration in their daily life, whatever that may look like. And I write from a kinship care perspective. And kinship care and kinship adoption can go back and forth, but I started to understand my kinship journey at the age of 27. And
Mm,
Gabby, you might be thinking, whoa, like that's a little bit late. But I grew up within my own family. My
yeah,
parents, fought with substance abuse in different and various forms. And I was
rest
the
in peace.
youngest, and I am the youngest of seven. And
Okay.
so when I was a baby, I was placed in foster care, three different
Mhm.
foster care homes, and then I was adopted within my own family and raised with my one biological sister. And then
Okay.
we were all spread out in the family. And I didn't really understand the magnitude of that, right? The
Mhm.
Black family didn't really talk about what kingship was, what kingship is. It's just mom and dad they're going to do something. We're raising you. But I
Yeah.
still had access. So how this all relates to life
Mhm.
is with adoption, you're trying to understand who you are, trying to figure
Absolutely.
out, what's my foundation to know
Right.
where
Yeah.
I'm going? And I
Yeah.
battled a lot of mental health challenges, but I was always such a positive person, so no one thought anything was wrong. And
Yeah.
so the thing was, at 27, around the pandemic,
Yeah.
I went through a really bad breakup and
Mhm.
I started to question everything. Why do I feel
Mm.
like this? What am
Yeah.
I missing? What is
Yeah.
this void? And then I thought, wow, well, girl, you didn't grow up with your mom and dad. Like, you don't even know, like, who they really are. Like, bits
Yeah.
and pieces, but who are they? And I'll say my adopted mom, who's my cousin,
Mhm.
never shied away. Like,
Yeah.
if I had questions, she would answer them. But it wasn't a conversation that she brought up because, like I
Yeah, yeah.
said, the Black family unit, why are we talking about this?
We're
So my
talking.
adoptee experience has been so interesting because it's
Mhm.
like, why are we talking about this? You're still with your family. And I'm
Right.
like, actually, a lot of Black children are adopted within their family, don't know how to talk about it, and trying to figure out
Absolutely.
where they come from and
Yeah.
being seen and loved and valued. So when I started
Absolutely.
to share my story at 27, it was really tough because I was also
Um,
going through my own healing journey. And I didn't really find who I wanted to speak to
yeah.
until maybe 4 years into the blog, which is wild when I say that. Can like
Uh,
4 years into the blog,
that's
but now I'm very
amazing
sure,
though.
right? What? Gabby, I'm like 4 years,
That's
and
amazing.
now I'm just like, wow. Actually,
Yeah.
there are so many different forms of adoption,
Yeah.
and so many different people identify in various ways due to different factors. And
Absolutely.
I got introduced to adopted communities. And while every adoptee isn't for you, there are
Yeah.
more for you than against you. And
So
so that
let's
led
go
me
back
here.
because I want to make sure
Yes.
that we cover kind of all of the bases here, especially for members of the Gift of Gab audience who are listening and who may be on this same journey, or
Yeah.
in one way or another. So when did you first learn that you were adopted?
Absolutely. So, really, between 7 and 10 years old, when
Okay.
I met my birth mom for maybe like the first time. Now, my memory, a child's memory is so funny because it's like, do you remember? Like,
Yes.
and I actually recently had a conversation with my sister who
Mm-hmm.
told me that, and I wrote in my blog post, when my mom came home with me, she was
Mm-hmm.
battling addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was the last one. And so it was really just like a fog. It wasn't a fog out of her love for me, but it was a fog in what was happening. And she handed me
Gotcha.
over to my oldest sister and said,
Mhm.
I'll be back, and then left.
Wow.
So really that attachment that we get when
Mhm.
we're babies, that we're
Yeah.
supposed to have that skin and skin touch, I didn't really have that. And so I learned about my adoption between like 7 and 10 when
Mhm.
I would go to family Christmases and holidays and like, oh, your dad's coming to say hi. Or he didn't show up. Oh, your
Mhm.
mom is somewhere doing something, but she's busy. She'll come around. And I remember when I stayed with her, it was in Curtis Bay. I remember like the back of my hand because I got to eat 2 sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like, I got to
love
eat two
that.
sandwiches. And I was just like, oh my God, yes. Right? It's so
I
crazy.
listen,
That I
I
sat
love
with,
that. It's the simple things for kids. It's the simple things.
right? I was like,
I
oh, my mom
love
this
it.
weekend. I can eat
Yeah.
2 sandwiches. This is
Yeah.
great. And then I was like, wait, but why am I leaving? Why can't
Yeah.
I stay? And that's
Yeah.
when the conversation started.
Gotcha. Okay. And you
Yeah.
said you were adopted by your cousin?
I was so fun, like not fun fact. Why would I say that? But for
It's
me, as all this information is coming out,
yeah.
in the system, they need to call the family and say, "Hey, we have these kids.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?"
Mhm.
And so I found out that when my aunts, they all went up to the agency, and she
Mhm.
said, "If y'all don't take these kids, they're going to go in the system."
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so then my cousin, we have our own relationship, but
Yeah.
I will always be grateful for the fact that she said, I'll take her and I'll take her sister. Like
Yeah.
raising two of us together,
Yeah.
my name's Tisha and my sister rhymes with my name because I'm not going to say her name, but it's just really awesome. And
Yeah.
so she said, I'll take you. And she raised us as her own. Like the
Yeah.
opportunities I've had, how I grew up, I got everything I needed.
Mhm.
And the emotional support was the only thing that, well, I can't blame her for what she didn't learn. And
Absolutely.
growing up, I had to learn that. So, yep, she came, they got us, they gave them the option, and the family was like, well, they can't go in the system. So they decided to raise us among different aunts and cousins.
And that's amazing because, I know a few people that have been through the system. And from my
Mhm.
understanding, it can be a tough journey to go through that system.
Yes.
So it is often encouraged, among the people who work in that
Mhm.
system that, if you are a family member that can keep these kids out of that system, like take them out, right?
Right.
Because it can really just be a journey. So like, were there some moments where roles felt blurred between your cousin and your mother? Like, did you kind of battle? Well, let me say, did you refer to your cousin as mom? Was that a title that you were using for her, or how did that dynamic kind of work?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay.
So, out of all of my siblings,
Mhm.
I believe I am one of the ones that I feel a lot, but
Mhm.
on the outside, I really my default was just to be positive and everything, right? So for
Mhm.
me, I didn't say mom. That it just don't flow off my lips. When I'm
Gotcha.
explaining, right,
Yeah.
I said mom to limit
Yeah.
questions. But in the
Yeah.
household, I called her by her first name, like a reverence, like what's going on, because she was always sure to tell us, like, I'm helping raise you all. This is your mother. This is your father. And
Absolutely.
very, you know, straightforward with those roles because she didn't want to feel like she was replacing anyone. But the reverence of mother and raising us, yes, I had that, but it was so hard for me to say it. Like, Abby, I rarely say I love you. Like,
Mm.
my
Yeah.
closest friends that are near me, they they'll be like, girl, it's okay to say I love you. And I feel
Yeah.
it, but I'm still learning how to actually say it, you know? So
Yeah.
mom isn't a title that flows off my lips in
Uh-huh.
like regular like conversation. It doesn't
Mhm.
feel natural to me.
Yeah. And shout out to you for being brave and
Mm.
recognizing and giving yourself grace that, like, that's still a journey I'm on, right? Learning how to say I
Yeah,
love you.
still.
That's big. That's powerful because I didn't come from a household where saying I love you was a thing. Right. Like I
Right.
remember time
Right.
and I grew up with my bio mother. And I
Yeah.
remember times where like I'd be like, oh, I love you. And my mom be like, girl, go in the room. Like, what are you talking about? So that was a strange thing
Right.
when I got older, right? Especially that dynamic with my siblings, and that was hard for me to express to other people. So I appreciate you being in this space and saying that out loud because I wasn't able to, right? I was just like,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I mean, I guess I love y'all. Like, I mean, you know it, so I shouldn't
Yeah,
have to
like,
say it, right?
sure.
Like,
Right,
so,
right, right.
yeah, but I
But
think
we need
that's
to hear
very brave of
that.
you. Yeah, we didn't hear it. I think but
Yes.
now let me tell you, Tisha, it's the best thing ever. I tell everybody I love them. I woke up one day out of a crazy nap. And it was the maintenance man like calling me, and the phone scared me. And I remember, like, as I was hanging up with the maintenance man, I was like, I love you. And I was like, did I just tell the maintenance
Gir
man I love?
girl, you
But
just
to
told
be
the maintenance
fair,
man
he woke
he
me up though. He woke me up. It was one of those
y
scary
he
wake
woke
ups,
me
like the
up.
police.
He woke you up. I agree. You know, I
He,
agree though. My thing is boo. I call everybody boo. At
oh, I
work, I'll be
love
like, "Thanks,
that.
boo. Thanks,
Yeah.
boo." My boss be like, "Did you just call him boo?" I'm like, "I did. I did." But it's such a revelation because
Yeah.
like even now when I'm creating things for adopted black girls, when I'm writing things of
Yeah.
that sort, my roommate, who's also like my sister in Christ and friend,
Yeah.
she this girl hugs me every
I
day.
love
And
that.
she like melts just some toughness off me every day. She's
I
like,
love that.
Tisha, I'm coming in for a hug. I'm
Yeah.
about to hug you. And I'll
Yeah.
just like stiffen up, like just prepare for
No.
it.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, I'm so used to it. And
Yeah.
she's opening me up to this kind of emotional place that I put on the back burner. And for
Yeah.
me, that is where my void and challenges come from. Because it just wasn't there to dive into. I
Yeah.
can't assume that you love me. I'm a child. I
Yeah.
need to hear it, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is huge. That as kids we need more than just assumptions, right? We can't assume those things.
Yeah.
Those things have to be proven to us. They have to be
Yes,
tangible,
yes,
right?
yes.
They have to be tangible
Yes, I had
things.
to
So
I had to close my eyes on that one, sis.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, and
Yes.
that's what Gift the Gab is about. It's safe here to have those moments and say, "You know what? I'm still walking that journey. I'm still figuring that out." So,
Yeah.
were you as a child, were you in any type of therapy or if not, then are you now? If you'd like to share that.
I would love to share. I'm pretty much I'm open.
Mhm,
And I really hope my dog doesn't start barking. I'm very I'm very open. I wasn't in therapy when I was as a child. I
mhm,
don't really think it was talked about because no one thought anything was wrong. Right. On
mm.
the outside, Tisha is so happy.
Yeah,
She's so happy, but I kind of like put my feelings down many times throughout life.
yeah,
And my focus was academic and being successful in my career because that's what I felt led to my worthiness. And I'll always say
mhm,
that breaking that connection is also
mhm,
breaking that control and breaking that power. The first time I was in therapy was, and this is a trigger warning for everyone who's watching, the first time I went to therapy was after my first suicide attempt, and that was in college. And I
yeah,
had a complete identity breakdown. I was playing basketball, I went to community college, but I was being ostracized from a group, and I didn't understand why. I was like, I'm giving everything. Why don't people like me? People kept putting my name in drama, and I was like, I need to get out of this. My
yeah,
home life was, I didn't feel accepted. My older sister went
mhm,
off to college, and I felt left behind, and I wasn't talking to her, and it was a lot.
yeah,
And so when I was in the hospital, I remember the therapist was like, "You're adopted. Like, why would you do that? You should be grateful." You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm,
why would anyone want to attempt that?
yeah,
And I was like, "You know what? Okay, whatever. I'm not going to therapy." But my
yeah,
mother, my adopted mom was like, "Yeah, I think they did great for you, all of these things," but she didn't understand that's not the type of therapy I needed. So I paused
absolutely,
therapy for a while.
mhm,
I started therapy back up in 2020,
okay,
and I had amazing therapists. I've had 3 since then because
mhm,
they were for different seasons. The
yeah,
first one taught me how to navigate the darkness. The
yeah,
second one taught me the way to the light, and now
yeah,
my final one, if it's final, but, like, right now I have a black man therapist,
yeah,
and I wanted a black male therapist because I wanted to execute on my word. I
mhm,
didn't want to get lost in a commotion. I wanted straightforward logic and also somatic therapy. So now it's like,
mhm,
how do I operate in light without having
yeah.
to heal every day? You
Oh, I
know?
love
And
that,
so
yeah,
looking, you know what I'm saying? Because
I love that.
sometimes healing is tiring.
It
It's
is. It is
hard.
exhausting. Yes, it is. It is very
You want
exhausting.
me to be an adoptee? Try to find my way, try to find my identity, teach people about adoption, and still go to sleep at night and not pour into my cup. My best friend said it the best, Destiny. You have to nourish between the pour, like
Yes, you
nourish
do.
between the pour. And so now in therapy, I feel like I'm as honest as I'll ever be. It's a very safe space for me, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get to this point without the last. The
Good
first time I
for
went to
you.
therapy, I was like,
Yeah.
"F this, F
Yeah.
this." But it was so. I had two white female therapists, and I still thank them to this day because
Mhm.
they didn't understand adoption, but they did the research to understand it
Oh, that's
without me
amazing.
having to ask.
Oh, that is so
And
amazing.
those,
That's so
I
good.
was like, "Thank you," because I
Yes.
had some ones where I did the test the 3 times, and it was so horrible. I was like, "Whoa," like, "No." But
Yeah.
I'll always say prayer, therapy, and my medication,
Yeah.
they work together, baby.
Oh, I love
So, yeah.
listen, and I absolutely love that because one thing we advocate strongly here for on Gifted Gab is therapy. I tell people
Yeah.
all the time, and I've said it multiple times, and I'm gonna continue to say it. Your friends are not your
Mhm.
therapist. Your family members are not your
Nope.
therapist. Your therapist is your therapist. And it does sometimes take a few therapists for you to figure out which one works for you in what season,
Yeah,
right? And to figure out
yeah.
if there is a balance of therapy and medicine, or, to figure those journeys out. But everybody deserves a therapist. Everybody should see a therapist, and therapists aren't
Everyone.
one size fits all. Figure out that. So I'm very appreciative that you mentioned that part of the journey. So how
Mhm.
does so you mentioned you have 6 siblings. What was the dynamic like
Yes.
growing up with your 6 siblings, and 2 you and your sister were adopted by, your cousin. What was the dynamic like with
Yes.
the rest of your siblings not being in the same household?
Oh, I love that question. And before I answer that, I just want to say, even watching your past episodes, like this space of self honor that you
Yeah.
speak on, it's just like I see that and I feel that here. And I just wanted to harp on that because that actually flows into my answer is the foundation of growing up in the
Yeah.
suburbs versus my siblings who grew up in the city. So my birth parents grew up and were raised in Baltimore. And so for me, I was back and forth between Anne Arundel County, Baltimore, Anne Arundel County, Baltimore, back and forth,
Mhm.
and precisely like Cherry Hill. So my growing up with my sister, just us in the household,
Mhm.
we had different opportunities than my other siblings, and that did
Mhm.
create a rift. I went to preparatory school. They went to other schools. We traveled the world. They traveled too. I think our aunts wanted to give us all the same opportunities, but different environments, different opportunities.
Yeah.
And that did cause a rift. And we weren't as close. And so when I would go to family gatherings or when I'll speak for myself, I couldn't really engage in such conversations because it's like, yeah, am I black enough? Like, I don't even know.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah,
one
no,
of
I get
those.
it.
And I
Yeah.
started to think, am I even in this family? And I
Yeah.
remember when I went to my older sister,
Mhm.
house, and she just lived in just a completely different environment than I did, I was just like, why? Like, what's going on? It
Yeah.
was almost like if you went this path of getting an education,
Mhm.
being successful, you were respected. If
Yeah.
you didn't, you weren't really seen, and I
Yeah.
didn't like that, and I noticed that. And so growing up, I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna do everything right." But what's
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
What's right?
Yeah, that's what's for me.
What really is that? And so
Yeah.
me and my sister had I she made the mistakes. I did everything I could not to repeat those mistakes. I
Gotcha.
say that.
Okay.
We played basketball. We were out the country
Mhm.
every year. Like, I'm talking about we went to Japan in 4th grade to write. Like, the opportunities
Amazing.
that my
Yeah.
adopted mom for free was
That is
endless.
amazing.
And I think it was like she wanted to make sure my birth mom was proud that she
Yeah.
didn't make a mistake. And my aunt who raised my other sibling did the best she could too. Like, I
Yeah.
love so it's my sister, then my middle sister. I love her. She
Yeah.
was my protector. I would definitely say that looking at hindsight.
Yeah.
We'll call her S. When my dad didn't show up, she said, I understand what's going on, but my younger siblings don't show
Yeah.
up.
Oh, I
You
love that.
understand? She was the
Yeah.
protector, and to this day, she's still the protector. Um, she had my beautiful nieces and nephews. I love her. And then one of my sisters who I'm not close with, this how different the dynamic was.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, she was placed back in foster care because due to systems and processes, you're able to do that, and that's crazy. But if it's not working out, they can rehome you or put you back in foster care. What
Mhm.
does that do to the mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember she sat me down. We had an argument. She said, "You'll never understand. Like, I got the short end of the stick. You'll never understand this journey." And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, I was younger, but
Yeah.
growing
Yeah.
up, and I said this before, I get it. Like, I
Yeah.
get it. Like, now I'm like, you know what? That sucks.
Yeah.
For lack of better terms, like how you're looking at your siblings being raised and cared for, and the person who took you in because of a situation, you had to go
Yeah.
back into the system. I don't know what you've seen. I don't know what
Yeah.
you've been through. And it's
Yeah.
like, and then I come in here and talk. I get it. My
Yeah.
brothers are a different story.
Yeah.
Don't have really a strong relationship with them. They're in and out. Um, they got kids, they got wives, they're doing their own thing. But every time we
Mhm.
do get together now,
Mhm.
we're trying to figure out what does our sibling dynamic look like because we're
Yeah.
blood. Like,
Yeah.
let's get to know each other. We have more similarities than we do differences. And so that's where we are in our relationship. I think the siblings, the sisters are getting together, and we're trying to
Yeah.
bring our brothers into the fold. But they so stubborn, Gabby. They so stubborn.
It's
But
boys. It's boys. I got a stubborn brother too. It's boys.
these men,
It's
you know what
men
I'm
and
saying?
boys.
Like, just love on us. Just love on us. Stop being upset, you know? But they
And
saw
listen,
different.
boys are a
And
little bit
so,
tougher to crack. So yeah, it's boys. But no,
yeah,
listen,
they
I'm
saw different.
yeah. They really do. The way they experience life is very, very, very different. Like, boys and their
Yeah.
mothers and fathers have such a different dynamic than girls and their mothers and their fathers. So I
Mhm,
absolutely get it.
mhm.
But I'm rooting for you and your siblings because I understand that place. I do understand, like, hey, but we're siblings. Like, we're not just blood. I do pray that you
Yeah.
guys, figure that piece of your journey out. So going back to kinship adoption, what do
Yes.
you what in sharing your journey with kinship adoption, what's the number
Yeah.
one thing you want people to know as it relates to kinship adoption?
That it doesn't mean you're less than,
Mm.
honestly. And what I mean by that is because as and I'll separate it, but
Okay.
broadly to the Black community, it does not mean you're less than to ask for help in raising your kids. It
Yeah,
does, like, you gotta break the stigma in that. Because what happens
absolutely.
is you're at dinner and they're like, "You didn't even raise your kids." What is the notion for that? Like, what is the end goal for that statement?
Yeah,
We don't need to say that, you
yeah.
know? And so it doesn't make you less than. And the second thing is that it is an option and it
Mhm.
is available to you.
Yeah.
And so for me, I would say from an educator point of view,
Mhm.
I'm trying to teach Black families like you can do this. But
Yeah,
then I'm like, actually, for us who have been affected by this,
yeah.
I'm trying to inspire you that you're more than just that. You're
Yeah.
holistic and you're not forgotten and you can find your identity and you can feel seen, loved, and valued because you are. You know,
Mhm.
in kinship care, it's okay to help.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
Because as a parent, and I'll say for my birth parent, I didn't realize what decisions my birth parents had to make. I always thought it was black and white, but life is actually in the gray area.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that until I became pregnant. Unfortunately, I lost that child. But when I was pregnant, I had some decisions to make. Like,
Yeah.
where's this money coming from?
Ooh,
Like, where's the money coming from? What is going to
yeah.
happen? Like, how am I going to be perceived? Oh my God, can I do this? And then you put, and I have like 3 degrees. So balancing with my mom who was on her seventh child, figuring things
Mhm.
out, battling
Yeah,
addiction,
yeah.
I saw her in such a different light. What made she's such a strong woman to this
Yeah.
day. I have so much
Wow.
respect for her
Yeah.
because even my older sister said she loved each of us. And
Mhm.
I believe it. I finally believe it. And so for birth parents, I'm like, you're going to mess up. You might mess up.
Yeah.
You might fall.
Yep.
Recovery doesn't have an expiration date. A
It doesn't.
program might, but recovery doesn't. So what help do you need?
Yep.
Right. And
Oh, I
so
love that.
knowing that, what family environment do you have?
Mhm.
Use that, utilize that, because the world will tell you you are not a great parent. The
Yeah.
world will say you need to give your child up for adoption for another family to take care of them. Oh, it's better this way. But what's better? It's different, but that don't make it better.
Right.
So understanding what your options are. And for
Yeah.
adopted Black girls who are in kinship care,
Mhm.
it's like, baby, I know you're upset with the world. Like, I
Yeah.
know you're upset. You may have wanted this, but you got this. So how can you tell your story and still feel like your adoptee experience is valid? Because
Yeah.
a lot of kinship care adoptees don't feel like they're valid. Because, like, well, you're what
Absolutely.
you're saying, blood. Okay, and
Right.
so when I'm speaking, it's like, doesn't mean you're less than. and it's
Yeah.
available to you.
Oh, I
And from the
love this.
adopted Black girl point of view,
Oh,
I was getting into it, girl. I was
no,
getting into it, girl.
listen, come on, cause preach down. I love
Girl,
this. I love this.
my headphones flew off. Hey.
Yeah. No, but listen, I absolutely love that you are reminding not just the adoptee, but those who are adopting that you got to hold grace and
Mhm.
space, not just for yourself or the child that you're adopting, but for the parents. And you're reminding the kid who's been adopted that listen, right now you might not get it, and that's okay. You don't have to get it right now,
Mhm.
but
Yep.
you know, when
No,
as you progress through life, you'll start to understand things a little bit more. So hold space for that. It's important to hold space for that.
yes, yes.
And I just I appreciate that, like all throughout your this conversation today. It's really, really just like you gotta hold space and grace for yourself. You gotta give yourself some
Yeah.
room to figure some things out because it may not look good or feel good, and you know, it may not even sound good, but I promise you in the end, if you just stay the course, it'll work out. And you'll figure some things out that you have probably had a lot of questions about. So mhm,
Mhm. I
I
love
love it.
that you I'm so happy that you got that because
Yeah.
it truly is like it's seasons and they come and they go. No one's an expert. Like they
Yeah.
just have experience that they're sharing with you. And so it could be simple things where you're like, I like me in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like I like me.
Yeah.
But when you say that 15, it may feel different when you say that 25. And that is totally
Yes.
okay. We do have to hold space for ourselves because we're changing every single day. I can
Yeah.
honor the person I was when I was mad at the world and
Yeah.
honor that, you know what? I did not like my birth parents for a long time. I did not forget my father. I didn't do that at all. And now my father sends me inspirational texts every single morning,
I
you
love
know?
that.
So
Yes.
it's just you evolve
Yeah.
and no one should be able to say, well, weren't you just mad? No, it don't matter. You evolve. And when you're so sure in yourself, and when you get to that point, you're able to heal. And then you can see things in a new light. And I think this is so it makes the light worth getting to.
It does. It does. But it's
Yeah.
hard. It's a hard journey to get there, and
It's
I
hard.
mean, everybody
It,
has their own circumstances and situations. It is worth getting to the light, but I will
right.
never sugarcoat that, baby, it's some days where you be like, "Lord, I don't know." Like, what is that light? Like, whoo, is it worth me getting to? It is. It is worth getting to the
Yeah.
light. It is worth getting to the
It
light. So
is. It is.
so I mean, I'm just really captivated just by your evolution to go from a place of what's going on in my world to I
Mhm.
don't even know who I am. I don't know what all of this means to a place of, you know what? I
Yeah.
still don't have it all figured out, but I like where I'm headed. And I'm just very, very
Yeah.
I'm just I'm in awe of that, right? Like I'm absolutely in awe of that. And I just think that's so great for you. So what made you want like, I know you talked about in the beginning about the breakup was kinda the catalyst for a lot of things that happened, but what
Mhm.
made you go one day, like, "I need to share my story?" Not necessarily thinking about helping someone else because I know that's always rooted in there, right? But what made you say, "Tisha, like,
Mhm.
we gotta talk about this?"
Yeah, I would definitely say my best friend Dakota. Like, Imma shout her out, like, I
Mm.
think I met Dakota in college, and we've
Mhm.
been best friends for over 10 years, and I remember I was telling her, I was like, I'm searching adopted Black girl, I'm like, "I don't see nothing on here, I see a lot of things about transracial adoptees," I'm like, "Okay, not really my story, so what's going on?" And she's just like, "Why don't you do it?"
We love a
And I'm
supportive
like, "Girl,"
friend,
I was like, "Get off my
Dakota.
line."
Yes,
I'm like,
Dakota.
"You ain't you ate that. You
Yes.
ate that, Dakota. You ate that." And I was just like, "Girl, no. Girl, no." And then I kept thinking it wouldn't leave me. It
Oh,
wouldn't leave
yeah.
me. It just would not
Listen.
leave me. And when something doesn't leave you, I think Malik said it the best, um, or she referenced someone who said this, an idea will come to you, but if you don't put it in the world, it will go to someone else. And I was like, if I don't do this, someone else will. And I have such a unique way, and I've just tailored my voice so long to feel
Yeah.
accepted. I'm
Yeah.
like, actually, let's go.
That's
So
right.
it started off, I did the podcast thing, but
Yeah.
I didn't want it enough, to be
Yeah.
honest. I didn't want it enough. And I think that's why I'm starting to really create the community now because I want it. Like I want it more. The passion is in me more. I feel more I I don't people can say whatever they want about my story, but they
Yeah.
don't know it. And
Yeah.
so I don't live or die by the audience criticism or
Love it.
joy or
Yeah.
praise.
Yep.
And that's I had to get through that, and so Dakota definitely was the person that's like, "You're a writer, you write
Yes.
well, do it." I've always been a person in my own way. My friends have
Shout
always
out to
seen the light in
Dakota.
me.
Listen, I love a
Yeah.
good friend. I love a good
Shout out to Dakota.
like
I
we
I
haven't been
I love a
besties
good friend.
for forever, but like when she came in, I knew she was my bestie. Listen, I love a good that's been my
It
girl
was
since we
great.
I love that. I love that. So shout
That's
out to
my
Dakota.
girl.
Listen, Tisha,
Yeah.
tell the girls where they can find you.
Hey y'all, y'all can follow me and find me. I would say my website, adoptedblackgirl.com.
Mhm.
Subscribe because right now all the posts are subscriber content only, straight to your inbox. And you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram at adopted black girl. At adopted black girl. Yeah.
Listen.
I'm about to say .com girl.
And I have checked
At
out
adopted black girl.
I have checked out all of the things. And the way you speak, the way you pour is just phenomenal. And I cannot thank you enough for coming on
Oh,
Gift of
thank
Gab
you.
to share just a piece of that. I cannot thank you enough. Your bravery, your thoroughness, your gracefulness, it is absolutely astounding. So I am wishing all of the best for you. Absolutely all of the best. Do you have any resources that you'd like to share with any guests that are listening in?
Yeah, I would definitely say if you are currently in the foster care system or within kinship care, make sure you go to your local 211, 311 is in Maryland, but see what resources that they have to you because you can go to college for free, transitional housing, healthcare, all the above if you're not getting what you need in the foster care home or in your current adoptive home that you're in. And I think that's the number one resource because you may think you're alone, but
Yeah.
you're not. Okay. I also have a blog post and resources on my site that people can go to for like self motivation, podcasts I've listened to keep me going, and daily quotes for adopted Black girls.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Listen, you are always welcome back to Gift of Gab. I don't care what it is. If you want to come on here and talk about your dog
Yeah,
barking,
you know
come back.
what? I love your platform.
Come back. Thank
Ah,
you.
thank you
Come
so
back.
much.
Come back. You are always welcome back. And I just sincerely again just thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
showing up for somebody out there who needed to hear your story, right? And they need to know that again, they're not
Hmm.
alone and they can get through it too. So thank you, thank you. And y'all make sure y'all reach out to
Thank
Tisha,
you.
follow her and all the things, subscribe, and just check in. And if you are on that journey, she's very, very, very responsive. And even the fact of saying, hey, like right now, I need some space. Let's circle back to this. And I love that. I love people saying like right now, I can't do that right now. So let's circle back. So reach out and make sure you just connect with her and let anybody else know who may be on that journey that Tisha's story is there, it's real, and it's available,
Hmm.
and they should go check it out. Otherwise, I love y'all. Listen, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Till next time.